Welcome to a Vanguard news video without the bullshit. Let's get started. Dragon Empire, on top of getting 3 new generic support cards, are also getting one of the most hated quintuplet for the collab in DBT12. The Quintessential Quintuplets is your not so typical D-series starter, since it's a box topper that has no nation and will only let you draw a card if you went second and rode a grade 1 quintuplet card. So no random ass waifu starter in your Gandiva, unless you want to play on hard mode by not drawing a card. Memories of the Quintuplets is a crest card while active, prevents you from riding non-quintuplet cards, and your order zone is regarded as memory. While active, any card that isn't a quintuplet card is put into your memory is put into your drop zone instead. And once per turn while active, you can pay 1 Soul Blast to look at the top cards of your deck equal to your Vanguard's grade, then put up to 1 quintuplet card into your memory and put the rest to the bottom of your deck. You can call it to rear guard instead if you put a unit card with the same name as any card in your memory. Note that regular order cards like Gracious Gradale or Elementaria Sanctitude will still work. The second effect is merely when you try to put non-quintuplet cards into your memory with the crests effect. Expect a lot of core memory memes. After the school festival, Ichika Nakano, when placed by riding over the Quintessential Quintuplets, makes you get a Memories of the Quintuplets crest card. And while in the Guardian Circle, she gets 5k shields if your order zone has 3 or more quintuplets. Ah yes, the scene in which nobody expected Futero to even consider. Returning from America, Ichika Nakano, when placed by riding over a grade 1 quintuplet card, lets you put up to 1 quintuplet card from the top 7 cards of your deck into your memory. And while on rear guard during your turn, she gets 5k power. When your opponent's rear guard was retired this turn, she gets 10k power instead if your memory has 5 or more quintuplet cards with different names. It's no wonder she was put in Dragon Empire. She gets stronger every time a rival was eliminated. The Quintessential Quintuplets Ichika Nakano, when placed on Vanguard, makes you reveal up to 2 quintuplet cards from the top 7 cards of your deck, then add 1 of them to your hand and put the rest into your memory. While on Vanguard, your opponent must call 2 or more cards at the same time from hand if they wish to guard if your memory has 6 or more quintuplet cards with different names. And while on Vanguard, you can pay 1 counter blast when she attacks a Vanguard to retire one of your opponent's rear guards. Then she and one of your quintuplet rear guard get power equal to the power of the retired card. They get 10k power instead if you did not retire with this ability. Bushiroad is really making her feel oppressive by making all your attacks have guard restrict, and you people wonder why I say she's the most hated quintuplet. Expect former V Premium players to have Mellow Amusements Colossus PTSD. Memories of the School Festival Ichika Nakano is a normal order card that can only be played if your Vanguard is a Quintessential Quintuplets Ichika Nakano. When played, select a quintuplet card with the same name in your drop zone, then put 1 of them to the bottom of your deck and the other into your memory. Then if you chose 1 or more cards, you perform all effects according to the number of quintuplet cards with different names in your memory. Retire one of your opponent's rear guards or draw a card instead if you did not retire. If you have 3 or more, countercharge 1 damage if you have 5 or more, and your Vanguard gets a continuous ability that prevents your opponent from calling sentinels from hand to the Guardian Circle or use a blitz order when she attacks if you have 7 or more. Holy shit, they really gave Ichika all of the guard restricts in the game. This collab is becoming way too overpowered, and this is just the first quintuplet. Incognito actress Ichika Nakano, when placed on rear guard, lets you put up to 1 quintuplet card from the top 3 cards of your deck into your memory. And while on rear guard, she gets 2k power if your memory has 3 or more quintuplet cards with different names. Incognito indeed. This card makes her deck look harmless until it finishes setting up for the no fight no guard conditions. Mean Love Ichika Nakano, when placed on rear guard, lets you pay 1 counter blast and putting a quintuplet card from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck if you have the Quintessential Quintuplets Ichika Nakano Vanguard to retire one of your opponent's rear guard. Then draw a card if your memory has 5 or more quintuplet cards with different names. Gandiva really put a high standard for Dragon Empire decks that even the collab cards are becoming too rewarding. Onslaught Dragon Fillingrex, while on rear guard, lets you pay 1 counter blast when it boosts, and while your Vanguard's critical 2 or higher, to draw a card. Did Gendiva seriously needed another way to draw a card? It's bad enough Best Harvest is still not choice restricted. Drag her to Baz your when discarded from hand during your battle phase. Makes you put her into your soul, then retire one of your opponent's back row rear guards. Dragonic Overlord felt that Gendiva was taking away the nation's spotlight from him, and so he got himself a waifu that stabs you in the back literally when he throws her away. Finally, Red Treasure Beast Garnet when placed on rear guard or guardian circle lets you return a total of 2 ride deck cards from either your soul or drop zone to your ride deck face up to draw a card if it was placed on rear guard, or it gets 15k shields if it was placed on the guardian circle. So ride deck cards are the next natural resource the game will exploit. Now this is one Garnet you actually want 2 copies in your hand. Only Yu-Gi-Oh players will get that reference. And that concludes this Vanguard news video. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments how you're now hoping these collabs won't come to the English game due to how powerful they are.